Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games, and as always we'll start with EVE Online, and a pretty interesting week for me personally in EVE Online, although I didn't play that much. In game itself I have been tracking my blueprint copies quite closely, and they are selling like crazy. So that does come as a little bit of a surprise. My first batch was basically done. That was 4 freighters, couple of Orca BPCs. Those basically, whenever I make a copy, they have the same, it's like 8 days or something like that, time needed in order to create the BPCs. And especially the freighters, they're going for almost 30 million ISK. So on this week I actually decided not to undercut by too much, just to see how quickly they would sell, and they were all gone in just a couple of days. So BPCs are definitely doing very well. And then I have another batch of 4 that I just brought to the market yesterday. Haven't checked on their sales just yet, but it is for the dreadnoughts, and there, to my surprise, there's like a huge difference between the different dreadnoughts. So we have the Amar one, and I think it's the Kaldari one, oh no, it's the Minmatar one, that are going for, again, crazy prices. 30 million for a BPC was like the lowest price available on contract. So I just put it like 29 or something like that, trying to get that sale going. And then we have the other 2 that are going for like less than 5. I'm not exactly sure why there's that big of a difference, but I must say, from the BPC standpoint, we're getting a lot of sales and we're making a lot of ISK for something that's pretty damn passive. So I'm very happy that I've brought those blueprints out into Galente space, and that I continued with that business in EVE Online. For my PI, of course, we're just making a lot of different stuff this time around, and it does mean that my planets run at basically all of them separate paces, and so some of them fill up very quickly while others take a very long time to fill up to a decent amount. But as you guys probably know if you follow EVE Talk, prices for PI are still extremely strong, and so it's not a lost effort. I'm just bringing that stuff to the market, and then we will soon, I think, decide on some sales, because I'm not willing to just dump everything right away at the moment. I still want to see exactly what is happening and what the impact of the expansion could potentially be, because that's coming as well on November the 20th. We should get a mass test next week as well, and then we have the new ships that are coming. So there's still some stuff on the horizon that perhaps will have an impact on the markets, and so I still want to basically have lots of options before I decide to jump in, which is, I think, what a lot of people have done with that Plex sale. That apparently someone mentioned that the sale prices in JITA went up to 8 million at one point. Now I haven't seen that myself. It's like 5.5, between 5.5 and 6 or something like that. It is, of course, quite an extreme jump in price yet again, but that's because CCP has allowed us to Plex our accounts for 300 Plex rather than 500 Plex. So a 40% discount is, of course, quite huge, and quite a few people have been taking advantage of that, of course. I've just seen a thread as well where players like had 2 years, 4 years, 10 years of their accounts Plexed, taking advantage of this one. So it's definitely an interesting move, and I think the speculation on that is probably right, although we can't know for sure, but this is probably just to get the end of the quarter numbers up to a significant amount. I'm still personally waiting to see what the expansion will bring. New ships are interesting, although not really sure if they'll fill enough niche compared to like their Tech 2 counterparts at the moment that are extremely cheap. But what I am personally looking forward to most is, of course, that allegiance system that would allow me to take part and to help my own faction without necessarily having to drop corporation and alliance to take part in faction warfare activities. So that for me is basically what I'm looking forward to the most at the moment. I did play a little bit of Path of Exile as well, but all of my ideas there just didn't work out, so I never really managed to build a character that I'm happy about. I'm at the moment actually building a totem character. If it works out, I'll keep you guys up to date, but for now it's mostly been EVE Online for me last week. And that was my last week in games, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.